Is essentially our gold medal match in the men's draw. New Zealand v Fiji. New Zealand needing to win this one with a 35-point gap to have a chance to leapfrog Fiji and into the silverware. Here's how they line up. New Zealand, and it is an experienced starting seven that coach Clark Laidlaw will lean on, including All Black gun Caleb Clark out wide. And Kurt Baker gets his first start of the weekend. So that's New Zealand. And then on the Fiji side, well, Gareth Baber not mucking around either. And he has called on some of his big names to start this matchup against their fierce rivals, New Zealand. Sean Maloney, Gemma Etheridge and Andrew Swain in commentary. Gem, it never fails to deliver this matchup between these two sides, and yesterday it went down to the final play of the game, a stray penalty goal costing New Zealand victory late.
Yeah, it did. They always have such close, intense matches, these two, and they will be another game here, I'm sure, where they're at it. It's their last hit out before Tokyo. Anything they need to try before they get onto the biggest stage of them all is going to be coming out tonight. So be ready for some Fijian magic and equally some New Zealand class.
It's a great way of describing the varying styles of these two teams. Fiji have grown into their work across the weekend. It was fairly straightforward sevens. It was missing a lot of the trademark offloading that we've been used to across the years. And in the game earlier today, they started to open up a little bit and really get the Fijian fans here into the action. New Zealand have just been growing and growing and growing themselves. And as we touched on through those team cards, Kurt Baker and his experience will make a difference here. It is Ulavanaka to those of you over in Fiji watching on. Kia ora to those of you catching our coverage of the Oceania Sevens from Townsville over in New Zealand as well. Great to have you with us for this final match in the men's draw in far north Queensland. The last chance for the men in the middle to impress their respective coaches and have their tickets booked and paid for Tokyo 2020. Here we go. New Zealand v Fiji. And away under the boot there of Rockula Soa. Fiji, no issues with the kickoff, and they go to work through Vakarun and Billy, who carries hard. Nashu over the top, looking for the turnover. It's scrappy out the back, and that pressure brings a little knock on at the base from Fiji.
Yeah, really quick work over the ruck by New Zealand. In such good position there.
Gee, there was a cheeky hand in there, wasn't there, from an All Black Sevens hand. I really think that probably knocked that ball free, so probably unlucky for Fiji. But that's what you get away with. You make your own luck.
Set.
Rockula Soa. Baker calling for the switch and taking it nicely, and then he offloads quickly to Baker. Pulls up a little dodgy, does Kurt Baker. Now back to his feet. Clark cutting in field. Caleb Clark 10 out. Collier at the base. Spinning it away. Will need help here. Malee gets in and lends a hand. He's a bit late to it though, and Fiji get it back. So Fiji looking to convert off the back of that desperate defence. No advantage, we'll head back to the mark.
They're just so quick over the ball, the Fijians. He had support play there, but just dynamic work at the breakdown. They're able to get in such good position and force the turnover and get themselves out of the danger zone.
Jerry Tuai comes in for his first line out of this matchup. Sefamasi, the man, in the middle, looking for the take here. Darren Lundy goes back and assists with a lift, and now spins out and comes back to where it began, and that'll help. Penalty there. Offside is the call against New Zealand. Fiji take it up to halfway now. Last time Fiji played international sevens here in Australia was January 2020, where they raised the cup down in Sydney. On that occasion, it was their number 12, Napoleone Mblaffa, who was the man of the match, looking to replicate that effort further up the eastern seaboard here in Townsville. We'll be getting a hand on shortly as Tuai swings round the corner. Tuai darts across the field. They've opened up the angle wide right, and Fiji will convert in a flash. Waningolo with the try. They lead by 5.
That was the master, wasn't it? Jerry Tuai setting that play up off the top of the line out. Skirted out the back. Jinking around, he attracted defenders. They're so smooth, so slick, the Fijians, and that looked very impressive to start the evening.
Conversion no good, and it stays Fiji 5, New Zealand yet to score.
Here's another look at it, and it is Tuai, the maestro here, orchestrating it. That lovely little decoy run set up Waningolo to be unmarked on the outside. Just great little bit of deception from the flying Fijians, and it was Tuai just orchestrating it.
You tell me when you're ready, I'll call time on. Ready? Time on.
Fiji looking to Darren Lundy here, up against Mickelson. Mickelson, good take. And then he gets whacked towards touch. Darren Lundy eventually does come away with it, and Fiji get a chance to move with it again. Tuai. Mickelson will swallow him up. Gets a hand there from Mulia. Waningolo, the try scorer. Across the park there for Mangala, who's been superb this weekend. That one hops tricky off this hard deck, and it's knocked on out wide.
They're looking hard to handle, the Fijians. They're really trying to utilise the width on the field, spreading New Zealand, trying to look for gaps. They're using their big men on either side. Just unfortunately, like you said, the bounce of the ball that time.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Rokulosoa spins away from the back of the scrum there. Mulia goes back towards the big men. Now connects with one of those. Collier backing his way up the field. Mickelson right there, and now playing with a penalty advantage. Rokulosoa, Baker. He gets met well front on there by Mangala, and we'll head back over to the mark. Geordie Way's got it. Not rolling is a call there against Fiji on the ground.
Yeah, it was just a bit lazy on the ground, the Fijian. Getting stuck there. Seeing another look at a set piece for New Zealand. I've been very impressed so far this weekend.
Oh, that one has gone dead in goal, and the options now for Fiji, scrum or 22. They'll take the former. They dodge a bullet there.
They surely do, just trying to bite off a centimetre too much.
Let's just keep eyes on our men.
Yep. It's an opportunity missed for New Zealand.
Crouch. Bind. Set. Hold.
Free kick, Fiji. Tuai happy to go fast. Tuai, every time he touches, the crowd comes alive. I know how dangerous he is, so too do New Zealand. And this guy's been handy in Townsville as well. Will he have enough pace? Mangala reaches out, now lays it back well. It's quick for Fiji, and they nail in another. And it's Yusufo Masi sliding in right under the dot.
Marcy reaps the rewards, but it was Mangala who started that play. He's been dangerous all weekend, and again he's been hard to handle for the defence. It was a great effort. If we get to see them in full flight, you can see here just stepping, backing himself again, pumping those arms to get to the try line. Such good presence of mind there to get such a long place, keep that ball clear of the defenders in New Zealand to retain possession so that Marcy could get the try.
So at the break it is Fiji clear by 12.
When you push, things will come out. Hopefully the outside, just try to squeeze it in a bit. Keep it nice and tight. Let them go one. This will get them in the corner.
I reckon that's our trigger, boys. When they get to that edge, fucking shut the game, just all go further along. They'll be in front of the ball because they're all looking for one thing, it's that fucking offload. So once they're in that corner, if these fucking hungry dogs, you just plow through them. Let's go number.
The ball away. Just hold on to us. A little area. No hurries. We go again.
They always talk about it. I know it's a bit small moments, right? We've had 3 in this though. We're still in the game. Right, the next score is build a game. We don't have to chase the game. We just fucking stay in the system. Right, just keep enjoying it.
Finish on 3, 1, 2, 3, finish.
Beautiful. Keep it on. There we go.
Well, the next time we'll see these two sides on our TV screens will be under 30 days away. As New Zealand and Fiji get set to do battle in Tokyo as well. They are joint favourites to take the gold medal, narrowly ahead of the Blitzboks, South Africa. Australia find themselves alongside Great Britain as the next favoured side. So we're looking at the two teams, according to the books, most likely to be battling it out for the gold medal. Fiji looking to defend their championship. And New Zealand looking to podium for the first time at the Olympics.
Good.
Right now, though, we have 7 minutes to play at the Oceania Sevens in Townsville. In this, their final game of the weekend. Collier up here. Nice start to the second turn there from Collier. Mickelson to the back. Penalty Fiji. Not releasing the call. Perhaps a touch unlucky there. Big deal. Now Vakunabili comes back his way and launches over the top. It's going to spit out the back, and Fiji, as quick as you like, push it out to a 17-0 lead.
Well, that's Fijian magic for you. Not sure if it was a pass or a... Either way, the ball always bounces nicely for the Fijians. It's just something they have, and they can make magic out of nothing.
It was Mussey with his second. The conversion misses. And Guswaina just kind of spat out the back there.
Yeah, you just heard Jordan Way say, nah, he lost it backwards. So it probably was a bit of a fumble, but it fell right into the hands of Darren Alungi and just strolled in.
Collier, they go to him again, and this time round he takes it well and gets support to retain possession. Baker, Rokulasoa, Clark sitting one down. Caleb Clark.
Not on the ball.
Mickelson. Flat across for Nashu. Collier. He gets wrestled to the ground there by Sandrungu. Baker sees the space out wide and connects beautifully on the out to Mulia, who now skips back in field, has beaten one, beaten another, got past Butitu. Good ball placement there as well, but now Fiji counter-up, but do so illegally. They haven't supported their weight on the way through, and New Zealand will get used to the ball. Midfield, 35 out. Have to be the next team to score. Went down yesterday by 2 against Fiji, but they finished strongly. Unlucky not to win that one. This will help them as well. Penalty, New Zealand. Mickelson, wide. Mulia has to dodge the rush shot from Tuimum, but now it goes across to Kurt Baker. Kurt Baker buys time and gets himself on the board.
Whoa, spicy.
This is standard. Kurt Baker v Fiji. This is week in, week out on the World Series.
We'll just walk away, okay? I was going to try and
Just haven't got the thumbs up.
He's making a tackle. It's fine.
Making a tackle.
Yes. No. I don't need to hear from you. Walk away.
Rockula Soa. It's a good strike, and it's a good result for New Zealand as well. 17 plays 7.
Really good work. Such a big floating ball over the top to try and release Baker on the outside. The old legs just had enough in them to get him to the try line.
It's his first start of the weekend, this clash. And he might get another handle here now, will he? No, Fiji. Grab it through Butitu to Mumba, spinning away from a couple. Power of the man. Butitu on hand quickly to send it across the park. Sandrungu. Tuai in there looking to secure possession, but New Zealand do a great job of disrupting there and have kept themselves in the contest.
Yeah, just a little mistake there at the breakdown. Just the fluidity of this Fijian side is beautiful to watch, but it was just a little knock forward on the ground, so the Black Sevens will have a chance here to try and pull one back with a couple of minutes to play. Kurt Baker coming from the field, the try scorer. Saw his trademark thumbs up just before, and then he got pushed in the back, and then it was on.
New stub. Prolific New Zealand point scorer. Goes round the corner but then loses it. It's gone forward. It'll be a penalty. Man in front after the knock on. Molia didn't notice it, and Fiji get the luxury now of either kicking to touch or packing the scrum. It's Lapa who will come in and look to the sideline.
Lovely touch finder as well. Puts it 5 out. And real good opportunity now just to wind down the clock. You think the Oceania title is Fiji's now. It was a 34-point difference that New Zealand needed to win by, so that looks like it's dead and buried.
Tuai to the middle, lovely take. They keep it tight here, Fiji. Now it spits out the back, and New Zealand come away with lovely ball over the top here for Newstub. They're screaming for it out wide. Look at the pace and the chase from Tuimumba. Clark v Tuimumba. Oh, Clark pinballs the Fijian defender. Huge contact, and now Fiji get in and steal it back from New Zealand. Wow, Batitu. He'll need help. He's isolated, and New Zealand get a good shot on, and they will win the penalty. 90 seconds to go, 13 minutes gone. 17-7 the score. Can they put one in here, New Zealand? Set us up with a grandstand finish. Malia
Not on the ball.
looking for it. Now, trying to get it wide, but then it's lost in the mix of bodies. And Fiji hang on, and that'll be enough to see them through unbeaten in Townsville.
Well, they just put enough pressure on, didn't they? At the critical moment, the All Black Sevens were really, really screaming and fighting for that quick ball. And the clock is stopped with 57 seconds left. But yeah, they were fighting for that ball. They wanted it quickly, the All Blacks. And the Fijians just did enough to slow it up.
Geordie, we've got 8 black on the field, 8 black players.
Hold on.
Gee, that collision, Caleb Clark on
Yeah, good now.
Tony Ellis and Drunga was huge.
Tom on.
Here's Vakarun and Billy. Ooh, that was earlier. That one spat out the side. That was the lead up to the first try of the second half. In the end, it was scooped up by Massey, who put in his second. This is Tuai. But right on their own line, Fiji. Butitu does the hard stuff and gets creased by Karoi. Now the penalty for Fiji. Gee, that was a nice shot front on from Karoi on Butitu.
Send on one.
It's not often Batitu gets manhandled like that, but that was
Here comes off.
a perfectly executed shot from Billy Karoi.
Tom back on. Let's go.
Lafata looking for touch, gets it just short of the 22. It was great chat in the lead up to this tournament. Jerry Tuai speaking with the local press here in Townsville. They said, will you show us everything? Will you show us what's in the locker? He said, we're going to keep a little up our sleeve ahead of Japan. We'll do what we need to, and that's exactly how it's played out. Just feel like there's a few more gears that Fiji can reach for when they do get to Tokyo.
Eight out. Out of it.
Full-time siren goes.
No, 19.
Tidu back in the pocket, won't be needed. And there's your gold medal favourites for Tokyo. Fiji, unbeaten in this, their final lead-up tournament to the Olympics. Too good for New Zealand. And their final match of the weekend, the score 17-7.
Yeah, brilliant performance from the gold medal favourites, looking to defend their title. And it was pretty to watch at times. New Zealand made them work hard for it, though. And you've got to think that the All Black Sevens side are not far off the pace.
I think it's fair to say that neither of the two sides threw all their shots across the weekend. We didn't see any of Scott Curry from a New Zealand perspective, just sitting it out with a calf complaint. And Fiji, in terms of their gameplay, just holding back on occasion. But Tidu, what a huge result it is, getting him back from French top 14 back into Fijian colours. Tuimamba as well. 2 huge pickups for coach Gareth Baber.
I wonder whether we'll see any extra players added to this squad over the course of the next couple of weeks. There are certainly rumours that there could be a couple of players who are playing up in Europe potentially come back.
Big weekend in front of their adoring fans here in Townsville for Fiji. And here's a look at the tries from that final game of the weekend. Tuai was wonderful as always, and that was the first try. Touchdown by Waningoro. And they set up a 17-point lead early in the second term. This was Massey going in for his first, and then right off the break in the second term, Vakarun Billy launched his way over the top. It shot out the back and was tidied up and eventually put down for what would be a match sealing try. Kurt Baker going in late, but to no avail for NZ. Fiji come away as winners.
Yeah, plenty of push and shove, a bit of feeling there. Here's the big bump from Caleb Clark. It was an absolute ripper on Tumbu. And Fiji dominant.
Okay, let's get some reaction from their boss, who's with Gemma Etheridge.
Thanks, boys. I'm down here with Gareth, the head coach of the Fijian team. You must be very pleased with the effort the boys put in over the weekend.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, it's obviously it's a tough competition. We knew that all four sides were going to be on top of each other, especially this close to the Olympics as well. But I think a special mention to the Oceania team. I thought they're absolutely outstanding, pushed us all the way, and to think that they're not a pro side as such like the international teams are. I know they're made up from different places around, but I just like to say a big shout out to them for all the efforts they made. But yeah, ultimately it was a battle of 6 games. We knew that, and similar to the Olympics, you've got to be on every one to get where you need to, and a bit of rhythm going into the Olympics.
And you've got a tougher ask in the next few days naming this side. When is the team getting announced?
It'll be this week. Yes, there's obviously official dates that we have to figure on, so by the end of the week we should be at that.
And is there players from outside the squad that have the potential to come in, or is this it?
No, there's a potential of a couple more. Obviously there's some talent out there, as you know, a lot of Fijians playing offshore, and there's a potential of a couple more to come in. But this group has done a fantastic job over the last, 8 months really, since we all went into COVID lockdown. I'd just like to say a special mention to all those people back in Fiji that are struggling with COVID like we have around the world. But our hearts, our prayers, our love is very much there for them, and the boys went out and did that tonight for them.
Well, I think I echo the sentiment of everyone here in Australia. We love having the Fijian team here. We love watching you play. Thank you again, and good luck in Tokyo.
Thank you very much, and thank you for hosting us here this last couple of weeks. Vanaka.
Vanaka.